Welcome to the Oakland's channel. Thanks for watching today, and let's continue our journey to finish every single Game Boy and Game Boy Color game. Today focuses on a game called Gecko Deep Pocket Gecko for the Game Boy Color. Now, as a counterpart to the N64 and PlayStation 1 game of almost the same title, that's called Deep Cover Gecko, and they changed Cover the Pocket because it's the handheld version of those games, and is also a sequel to the second Gex game on the Game Boy Color, and they are very similar. They share the same game engine, the same game mechanics, the same sprites, the same sense of humor. So if you enjoyed Enter the Gecko, I can pretty much promise you're going to enjoy Deep Pocket Gecko as well, because it's pretty much the overall same experience, except they basically learned from their mistakes and learned lessons from like the first game, and just sort of smoothed it out and made for a much better project here for the third game. Now, this particular game did moved up into the queue a bit because Star Wolf SSBB, gotta be Super Smash Bros. Brawl, requests I cover sooner than later, so naturally moved up in the queue. If there's a game that you want to see me cover sooner than later, let me know the name of the game in the comments down below, and just like Gex 30, I'll move it right on up. Now I can start the videos up. We can tell you a box art for the game first, and the box art here pretty much screams early 2000s. You got Gex flying through the air on his little snowboard, got a snowboarding outfit on, his snowboarding goggles, his snowboarding hat, his snowboarding gloves. I mean, Gex is looking pretty cool here, no pun intended. But, I mean, snowboarding was a huge part of the culture at the time. You had the Cool Boarders games, the 1080 games, and pretty much, I mean, every kid wanted to go snowboarding, even if you didn't live in a winter town. But don't worry if you didn't, because Gex has you covered here, because you do have some snowboarding levels in the game. So this box art here is fairly accurate, because there is a snowboarding level inside the game, and also showcases just how cool Gex truly is here on the cover. Now, when you load the game up here, you have a pixelated version of a lot of the advertisements that were used for Gex at the time. No idea who that lady is, but she was in pretty much all the ads for the game. And then you journey into the hub world here, and the hub world is way smaller than it was for Enter the Gecko. The hub world itself in Enter the Gecko was very similar to like most N64 collectathons, where like the hub world itself was like almost a world that you could journey through, find different bonuses and different secrets and things like that. This is really a bare bones hub world, and for a Game Boy Color game, I feel like it does pretty well. The hub world in the last game got a little overwhelming, and this one feels a little bit more manageable as you're going through it. I'll call it the Gecko Cave because it looks like the Bat Cave, except it's Gex's version of that. Now, there are 3 core doors that you can go into, and each door is going to open up a different room, and inside that room is going to be a TV that you can hop into and basically complete missions to find remote controls. It's sort of like in Super Mario 64 inside the castle. You would journey through and find paintings, and you would jump into a painting, and you give you different missions to collect stars, and you use those stars to unlock other areas inside the castle. It's the exact same thing here. You hop into a television, collect remote controls from the missions, and then unlock different areas inside of the Gecko Cave. Now, I'm not going to talk about the hub world a lot here because it's very much of a bare bones hub world like I mentioned, and so I'm basically just going to go through all of the individual levels. And one mistake that they did correct in the last game is they made you collect every single remote control in the last game in order to unlock the final level and defeat the boss. That is not the case here anymore. You can sort of pick and choose, at least to some degree, which missions you want to complete. So we journey into our first TV here, and it's going to be the Holiday TV, which is basically the Christmas level here. And the 3 missions we have is to create 5 ice sculptures of myself, of course, because Gex is very self-absorbed. Whack 2 ice skating elves, which means to take them out, and defeat the evil Santa. So like the sense of humor of Gex is like 100% here inside this game. I mean, even from the missions themselves. Now, as soon as you enter into the level here, you can definitely tell it's a graphical upgrade from Enter the Gecko, because like Gex has his own individual costume for every single level. The sprites are just simply a little bit more crisp here. The backgrounds are more vivid. There's individual buildings that you can go into, and like the buildings actually have like decorations inside of them. Like all of the cabins that you go into are decorated for Christmas time. And just overall, like the game does look much better than Enter the Gecko. You can tell it's still the same game engine, and they're still using like the same basic core sprites for most of it. However, like they just simply added more polish to it, and it's just a better looking game. Now, as far as like the moves that Gex has, if you press the B button, he jumps, and you press the A button, he attacks. And this is opposite of pretty much every other game you're ever going to play on the Game Boy, or like the NES or the SNES. And you do get used to sort of having them backwards here, but it is an odd choice for the game to do that. Now, as far as enemies in this level, there's not a lot of enemies. You do have these little penguins running back and forth. In the level, they some reason remind me of the penguin from Wallace and Gromit, even though I guess it's just a basic penguin here. The evil elves, they're skating around at the top, and they're very easy to take out. You sort of swing your tail around, hit him a couple times. That mission's very easy. And then Evil Santa's at the very top of the level. You go into his Evil Santa workshop here, and he basically just sort of throws snowballs at you, and all you have to do is spin your tail around and ricochet the snowballs back at him. Hit him a few times, and of course you take him out. And every time you defeat an individual mission, you have to find the remote control exit platform, and you have to exit through that, and that's when you're going to achieve that particular remote control. Now, there are 3 missions, like I mentioned earlier. However, there is a 4th remote control you can get if you collect 100 bugs inside the level. And since this level was fairly small, I did go ahead and collect all 100 for it. And so, like, level 1, I did 100% it. I can't say that for the rest of the levels in the game, but for level 1, like, I'm a sucker for, like, holiday or Christmas or ice levels or snow levels here. And so, of course, I'm going to 100% this one. But overall, a pretty good start to the game. Now, level number 2 here is called Mystery TV, and it sort of reminds me of the board game Clue a little bit. Because, like, there are tons of different rooms that you can journey into. There's, like, the study that you can journey into, the library that you can journey into. Gex himself is wearing, like, a little old-timey nightgown, a little nightcap as well. Giant grizzly bears in the hallway, exaggerated pictures on the wall. This level definitely has a personality of its own, but I can't say I like it as much as the first level here. Now, mission number 1 is to survive the hedge maze. That's difficult to say. Try it 3 times fast. Hedge maze, hedge maze. Can't get it twice. But you have to survive the hedge maze, and you basically journey out the back door, journey through the entire garden, and take out the little hunters that you see along the way, old-timey hunters, to show you how dangerous the maze is. They have like little skeletons, hidden throughout. And all you have to do is get to the end of the maze, and you achieve that particular goal. You also have to break 3 blood coolers, and this is very similar to a mission in the first Gex game, because I know you had to bust blood coolers in that one as well. And these are much more vivid for this game. The graphics are obviously improving. And you also have to steal the magic sword from the Ghost Knight. And you basically just have to journey through the doors until you find the checkerboard room here, or the chessboard. And you just simply go up and hit the little Ghost Knight about 3 or 4 times with your tail. Journey to the next room, and you're going to get his sword. None of these are like super difficult to find, but just overall charm of the level. Didn't like it as much as the first one. However, the 3rd level here is going to be pretty top tier. It's called Tut TV, and you have a little pharaoh outfit, and you're journeying through ancient Egypt. And overall, great aesthetic when you're outside the pyramid. You have like these little snakes who are firing away at you. Simply have to hop on their heads. You also have like a little raft as you're cruising down the Nile. You have these little scarabs who are coming down to try to hit you. They are pretty annoying, because if they do hit you, they're going to knock you off the raft. You have to pretty much start the entire level over again. You also have like a pyramid that you journey into, and in order to get into the pyramid, there's like a little ghost hand, like the thing from Addams Family. You hit it, it jumps up and like comes down with a fist and busts the top of the pyramid open. Then you can go into it. You have flowing water inside. You got these giant sarcophagus that you can go into, or I guess it's plural, sarcophagi, plural maybe. But you can go into those. You can journey deeper into the tomb here. You have to destroy 3 canes of Ra in order to get one of the missions completed. And you have to ride these little elevators while statues of Ra are trying to fire away at you. A cool inner chamber here, or inner sanctum. You also have to find like different treasure chests, and if you bust all 3 of them open, like a little ghost is going to come out. And then the final mission was just continuing on that little raft I mentioned earlier, get all the way to the end, and you can basically approach a temple. And so overall, like, great aesthetics for the level. There's even like a little waterway you can fall into, and you have to like journey through it, and you can fly out the top of a little geyser here. A very creative level. I would say it's probably the best level thus far inside the game. I liked snow levels. I liked it. But this level here is just simply more creative, and you really can't go against that. At this point, there is a bonus level, and you basically have to cruise around on the snowboard, and you have to take out 5 elves in order to get a remote control this way. Very simple. You get it done very quickly. And just when you get done with what you thought was the best world inside the entire game, the game is going to turn around and give you a Western television station, which is bar none the best level the game has to offer here. You're journeying through a little Western town, and Gex has like a little cowboy outfit on, a little cowboy hat. You're journeying through like a saloon here. You're journeying through like different shacks. You got little killer cacti that are coming after you. You have these little creatures from Mega Man that are journeying back and forth, like little miners, construction workers. Well, not construction workers, definitely miners, because you're going to journey through the old mine as well. You have little bats that are going to come down from the caves inside the mine to attack you. Just an overall really fun level, really great aesthetic. Even when you like journey into like little shacks here, have like a little bed, like a little old timey stove off to the side, a grizzly bear skin hanging up in the background. I mean, this is definitely journeying back into the great adventure out west. And so the level just looks absolutely fantastic. The missions are collect 5 of a kind. You basically have to find 5 playing cards throughout the level. collect those for one of your missions. Another one is to survive the old mine. And for this, you just simply have to get to the end of the mine here. And it's not too bad. Tons of like little miners that you have to take out along the way. And they are fairly rough. And then the best mission of all is to visit the world's largest mound of poop. Makes it feel like you're playing a Conqueror's Bad Fur Day here with a mission like that. But it's just simply at the very, very far end, even outside of the mine at the close. Now, this level here, I enjoyed it so much. I actually did collect all of the individual bugs in it. And I had a lot of trouble because I got to the 99th bug and I could not find the last one. And it turned out you had to kill the cactus at the start of the game, but you could only kill the cactus if you got a green power-up from the little TV over here, and then drop down, and then you could actually attack the cactus. That took me like a solid 20 minutes to figure out. But still, even after that, my absolute favorite level in the entire game. And then we have our bonus level called Gex, and it's called Invasion of the Body Slammers. And that just goes to show like Gex is trying to keep up with that sense of humor. Since he can't talk in the Game Boy version, they try to put like little puns and whatnot for all of the levels. But for here, you just simply hit the wrestler like 4 or 5 times and then you defeat him. I really didn't see a whole lot of creativity to this particular bonus level. Very, very simple. You'll have it done in no time. And then level number 5 is called Anime TV. And your 3 missions here are to destroy 3 alien tubes, deactivate the Planet Oblast weapon, and find and destroy the mechs in the level as well. And I don't really know why they call it Anime TV because it definitely feels more like a sci-fi show that you're journeying through here. The mechs look pretty cool. I'll give it that. But like the overall level is just very repetitive. The background scenery is just simply not my favorite. And they took all the creativity and all of the fun of the last couple of levels and just feels like it sort of got, I don't know, zapped out of it. I did like seeing the alien tubes. That was sort of neat. But just felt like overall empty compared to like the last 2 levels. And so an overall boring and pretty samey level. Now level 6 is going to be called Hero TV. You got your little hero costumes on here and it's called Super Zeros. And your 3 missions are to defeat the Mad Bomber, rescue 3 stray cats, and find 5 escaped convicts. And this level here, I didn't really like the last level. And I will say this one's a little bit better, but I still didn't particularly enjoy it. You're basically traveling the rooftops here, and they look fairly similar as you're going. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to fall off the edge. It's easy to miss a wall that you can climb on. Just overall didn't really like this level. Rescuing the 3 stray cats, I will admit I enjoyed that. You throw a cat in the game, I'm automatically going to like that mission. Defeat the Mad Bomber, he was a little bit annoying here because like you had to basically hit the bombs back up at him and you had to sort of time like how long he'd been on the ground in order to get him to explode like right on his head. And I mean like right on his head. If you were just barely off like one itty bitty hitbox here, he is not going to take effect. It takes a long time to defeat him just simply because you're having to really count out how many seconds before it's time to fire that bomb back at him. And so not my favorite boss. And then the 3rd mission, which was to find the escaped convicts, I just said forget it because I had at this point collected all but one of the remotes that I needed for the final level. And there was a bonus level waiting on me called Lizard of Oz. And for this, you have the wizard's head basically floating around in front of all the pipe organ parts. And all you have to do is dodge his projectiles. And then when a little cannon comes out, fire away at him, and you can get the last remote that you need in order to take on Channel Z. Now, just to be clear, you do have to collect 23 remotes in order to get into this channel. However, if you do some of the bonus levels like I did, and you just simply collect all the bugs throughout a couple of levels, you don't end up having to get all the missions as you go. And like I said at the start of the video, it was a complaint in the last game, because you had to like pretty much 100% the last game just in order to access the final level. And I do think it's good for a game to actually give you 2 options here of ability to beat the game without collecting everything, and then a completionist run if you enjoy the game enough to go back and try to collect everything. So I do think it's a benefit to this game. Now Channel Z here, the only mission is to defeat Rez. And you're basically traveling up these satellites, and there are a ton of very hazardous jumps that you're going through, and you can easily fall all the way back down to the bottom to redo it all again, or easily fall to your death down below. And so a fairly annoying level, but it's also very short. You just hit 2 switches at the top of the satellite, opens up the final door for Rez here, and pretty much if you stay in the middle and just simply duck down over about half the projectiles, you may get hit a few times, but basically if you just sort of stay there and keep swinging around when he's jumping around the screen, you'll have him taken out with almost no movement at all, and you can tank the few hits necessary in order to take him out. Very, very easy final boss and sort of boring. to that effect as well. At this point, the credits do begin to roll. There's no like wrap up of the story or anything like that. But let's talk about this game as an overall. Now, I do feel like it's better than the last Gex game because they really streamlined a lot of it. Didn't make you collect every single item. You have like different graphics as far as like different costumes and whatnot. It has more charm. And the game for the first 4 levels is a nearly flawless collectathon adventure for the Game Boy Color. The last few levels do tend to fall off a little bit, and you can't help but hold that against the game to a degree, because like the first levels, especially that western level, is just so much fun, and the Egypt level and the snow level, I mean, like they really were playing on all cylinders, or firing on all cylinders at the start of the game, and they sort of, I don't know, drifted off toward the end. Maybe they ran out of energy, maybe they ran out of time for the development, but those levels were nowhere near as fun as the first half. And so if they could have kept that momentum up, I feel like they corrected all the mistakes except for the swapping of the A and B button from the first game. And I think I gave the first one, or Enter the Gecko, 6 out of 10. And so I'd probably give this one a 7.5 out of 10. If they could have kept up the momentum from those first few levels, it could have definitely got an 8, maybe 8.5. But sadly, the game did sort of fall a little short toward the close. But overall, excellent game. I feel like it's worth going through, or at least playing through a little bit of it. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos listed above, and go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.